everyone should work a shitty job at least once in their life. And the two examples that come to my mind are working in the food service industry or working in retail. So working at like a department store or something customer facing, or being a dishwasher or a busboy or a server at a restaurant. I think those are two key job experiences that should be on everybody's resume and that they should experience at least once in their life. Because for one, it kind of just teaches you what these kinds of people are dealing with. So like if you go to a fast food place, you don't just shit on all the workers there because they're not doing their job as fast as you'd like, because you understand. Or if you're at a restaurant and they're not serving your food on time or whatever, there's a certain understanding that comes with the experience that you've gained in those types of industries. Or if you're trying to work on something, get some customer service help, and they're not exactly helping you in the proper way or something like that. If you've experienced that type of work, then you're a little bit more empathetic towards those people, and you can see their positions and what they're in, and you can be like, oh yeah, I've been there before. I know it sucks, so I won't give you too hard of a time. And I think that would, for one, just make the world a decently better place if more people understood where other people were coming from. And that would just be in the sense that in food service work, I've had a couple jobs. I've had two jobs in the food service industry. Once I was a dishwasher, and that sucked. And then I transitioned into a fry cook at that same place. And then at a different place, I was a food runner slash busboy. So still dealing in food service, and it wasn't the best job, right? I'll give you that. It's obviously not something I wanted to do with my life. And that's another reason why everybody should experience some sort of job like that at the start. You shouldn't go through all of high school just playing video games and not trying to work and trying to gain experience in the real world. And then like right after high school, you go into like some sort of job that you love. Or after college, after you go through college and get your degree, you don't go straight into things like, you experience internships and stuff like that. But internships with a big company for like, I don't even know, for auditing or accounting or being at a biotech firm, stuff like that, while those experiences are all well and good, it's not the same as being customer facing and working a job that you legit hate. Because not that if you get your degree and then you go into the corporate world, not that you're not going to hate your job, because a lot of people, even though they are in the corporate world, they still hate their job, and it's not dealing with food, or it's not dealing with retail. So it's just the basic premise of, you kind of find out what you like and what you don't like. Obviously, I don't think anybody would want to spend the rest of their life washing dishes. And I know it's the unfortunate reality that that's what some people have to do in order to get by at times. But trying things out like that, like working in retail, working at a restaurant, allows you to take in experiences, and it makes you learn lessons of like how to do good work if you actually put in work while you're working there, rather than just, taking jewel breaks or something like that in the bathroom every 5 minutes because you're addicted to nicotine in high school. But anyways, I'm just saying that if you're experiencing jobs like that and experiencing work that you don't like, that kind of experience is just as valuable as finding a job that you do like, because it teaches you it's the basic premise that in order to find what you do like, you have to figure out also the things that you don't like and that you don't want to do. So that's kind of what those experiences were for me, even though I did go back to working at a restaurant after I already experienced working at a restaurant before in the past. But, now that I'm where I am in life, I understand that's not what I want to go back to. And this summer, I was very persistent on not returning back to a food service industry job, because I knew that is not what I wanted to do with my time, and I was not very happy in those kinds of circumstances. But I am very grateful for the lessons that I've learned. And you do get to learn like social skills in those kinds of environments. If you're in retail and you're customer facing, trying to help people solve their problems, then, or if people are like, if you're walking around a department store and people are walking up to you asking questions about where to find things, you gain certain life skills by talking and interacting with people that you don't get at a desk job or something like that. So that's also another thing. So it's not just the part of just doing work and doing manual labor. That's a big thing as well. A lot of people haven't been in jobs where they've had to do manual labor, and it really shows because, I don't know, people are lazy and don't feel like doing things, very simple things in their own lives that can benefit them greatly. But I think that dealing with some sort of manual labor is very important because it teaches you hard work. You don't get that same experience of doing physically taxing work. Okay, I can also think of a job like being at a warehouse, at a packaging warehouse for Amazon. I'm sure those people don't have the best working conditions too. That's an example that just came to mind. But basically, I'm just saying that physical labor is important as well in informing your basis for work ethic in going into the future. So if you're young, if you're in high school or something and you're watching this, or even if you're like early years of college and you haven't really gotten into internships or anything like that, I would definitely recommend, I don't recommend that you spend the rest of your life in a food service industry job or at a retail store, but I do recommend, if you haven't had that type of experience, to find a job that is in those things. And as a kid anyways, when you're 16, you can't really get any type of work at a desk job or something like that because you don't have the experience or something, you don't have a degree. So food service or retail is one of the easiest places to start working, and I think that's a really valuable experience that if you haven't had, then you should definitely seek pretty soon before you enter the workforce, just so like you can kind of get that base level understanding. And now when I go to restaurants and stuff like that, I'm more empathetic towards the people who are working, and I'm like, all right, I can't be too hard on these people just because they forgot my order or something like that. Stuff happens, and if you haven't experienced that, then you won't really be able to empathize in the same way. Wow, I don't know what that was. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and stay on target.